Hi folks, welcome to the Candidates Forum. I'm Dave Gallus, I'm your host today, and we're here again with Bev Courtney, who's running for Mayor of Las Cruces. Bev, welcome again.
Thank you for having me again.
Well, we have a very interesting show today. As you can see, we have a firearm on the table here, so appropriately, this is Second Amendment Sanctuary City is the theme for today's show. So,
That's
Bev,
right.
could you explain to me about what is a Second Amendment Sanctuary City?
Well, a Second Amendment sanctuary city, I got the idea from the Second Amendment sanctuary counties that 33 of our county sheriffs.
Our sheriffs, our heroes, the
had
real
declared.
cowboys.
That's right.
Yes.
And the people support the Second Amendment. We have our Bill of Rights, and we
US
want to uphold it.
Constitution.
I want to uphold it and support it. And I believe that's, from what I understand, that's what the people want.
So what I heard was that there's red flag laws, meaning that a person can have their gun confiscated for not even, you don't go to court, you don't have a judge overseeing it. So to me, it's a chipping away of our Second Amendment rights, which are in our U.S. and our New Mexico Constitution.
Yeah, the red flag law is just that, a red flag. It's very dangerous for a law-abiding citizen.
Sure.
And so we can deal with the mass shooters. We can narrow it down to maybe limit their rights without limiting the law-abiding citizen.
Sure.
We're not going to give up our rights because a few criminals do what they do. That's contrary to the law. It's contrary to what we think is right and wrong.
It's contrary to God's law to be able to protect yourself.
It's contrary to liberty.
Yes, absolutely. So
Yes.
you were talking about criminals, say, in those malls. We've had a lot of shootings. We had a shooting in El Paso not long ago. If we had more concealed carry permit holders in Walmart, and I don't understand why Walmart doesn't want law-abiding concealed carry people to be able to carry a firearm in there, we would have stopped a lot of the lives from being lost.
Well, there were some people that had concealed carry, a grandma actually, and she left it because she says, well, I'm just going to Walmart. But the nature of crime these days require a higher level of self-defense.
Well, there's a statistic nationally, a 911 call. Once you place a 911 call, nationally it takes 10 minutes for the police to arrive. Yet a criminal will, in his time that he interacts with his victim, it's 90 seconds. So if you don't have personal protection, you're in big trouble.
And that's why we're talking about the handgun first, is because a handgun is a personal sidearm.
Okay.
And that is because you're dealing with immediate threats. And the best line of defense, the first line of defense is you yourself.
Right.
Because like you said, it takes seconds,
Sure.
and you're the one that's going to have to deal with it, whether it's just the reality.
Now, it's interesting that you, a woman, has your own New Mexico certification for concealed carry instruction.
That's right. That's my business. I've been teaching concealed carry for about close to 15 years.
Wow.
I've been carrying concealed myself probably 35 years.
Wow.
36.
And obviously you can handle yourself once you have that personal protection that you need.
Yes, I feel very confident.
Well, how about...
that I can go anywhere, anytime, and I'm not going to worry about being victimized.
Okay.
And that's the thing, the beauty of the firearm, the sidearm, is that it's an equalizer for people that have lesser strength and
Sure,
the more weak.
Maybe a handicapped person, a senior citizen.
That's right.
A woman.
A woman.
I can't imagine what it must feel like if you're in a bad situation. Maybe it's all innocent, but you find yourself isolated with a big guy or even a small guy. Physically, men are built stronger than women, basically.
That's true.
So how do you equalize? It's said that God made people different, but Smith & Wesson made them equal.
It's so true when it comes to women and guns.
So how do you feel when you have a firearm on and you want to go to a dicey situation?
I feel confident. I feel like I'm free to do as I please. I don't have to be driven by fear and intimidation.
Very good.
I have wised up a lot so that I don't get myself into situations. And so the first line of defense is thinking. For instance, you don't have to have a concealed carry gun to have it in your car, in your home. You can open carry in New Mexico.
Right.
I'm all for it.
So am I.
So suppose you've got kids in the house, a teenager. Right. If you have to go and leave them alone for a little bit, the gun, and they have and do defend themselves with it, is something that they can use responsibly and defend their lives, their home.
Sure.
And
it's just that you would have to train that youngster to be able to handle a firearm. I mean, when I was probably 10 years old, I learned how to shoot a .22 rifle.
Exactly.
So and the thing, I think a lot of people are afraid of firearms because they don't know how to handle them.
No, that's
so,
right.
And you offer a free service so people can come into your shop. It's on Missouri Avenue, I think it is.
That's right.
What's the address?
2645 Missouri Avenue, Suite 1.
2645 Missouri. It's in a small strip mall, I guess it is.
Near Nopalitos. It's just about a block and a half west of Telshore in Missouri.
Okay, so folks, if you want to learn what it is to handle a firearm, and this looks like a real firearm.
This is a CERT training pistol.
Okay.
And I spent as much money on it as a real gun.
Okay.
But the beauty of this pistol is that it's the size and weight of a real live
It looks
Glock
just like
19.
my 1911. It's a .45 automatic. So.
But it has the laser, and so you can learn the fundamentals of shooting, how to grip it, how to get your sight picture. You can learn trigger control, safe handling. You can do all of that, and I just teach it for free because every child needs to learn safety. Everybody will benefit from
every
a safety
housewife,
lesson.
every senior citizen, every handicapped person,
right.
every man.
Yeah.
Sure.
And once they learn the safe handling, it'll give them a little more confidence to go out and do live fire at the shooting range.
And then they should practice.
Oh, yeah.
You have to practice to get comfortable with it.
So in my concealed carry class, we shoot 150 rounds.
Okay.
And I tell everybody that's an introduction. And a lot of people are fine with that, men that have been shooting 30 years already.
Sure.
Youth are usually pretty quick at picking it up because they have good hand-eye coordination.
Right.
Women, well, I mean, typically, I don't care who you are, 700 to 1,000 rounds will make you have a conditioned response.
Sure. Sure. I was a policeman for 25 years in Philadelphia, so I had training all the time in gun safety and how to handle a gun, and yet I took a concealed carry course here, and I think you know Jaime Chavez.
Yes.
He was my instructor, and he also instructed my wife. She has her concealed carry permit.
They had some training classes this week. I'm campaigning. I didn't have time to.
Well, I hear you. Well, no, you're doing the important thing. Okay,
Yeah.
and Jaime's a great instructor, and I learned more things. I thought I knew everything about guns. No.
But like you were saying, Dave, you were a police officer in a community that has concealed carry holders.
Yes.
The police are actually safer.
Sure they are. They didn't have it in Philadelphia when I was there.
No, it's kind of a new thing.
Sure.
Or a recent historical thing.
But you're also held to a higher standard as well, because
we are.
you could come into a situation where a policeman is down, been shot.
And you can help them.
You can help them. Or even if a person doesn't want to buy a gun, doesn't want to have a gun, if you know how to handle a gun and know the mechanics of a gun, if a policeman is down and his gun's laying there, wouldn't you like to be able to protect him or yourself or your family?
Whether it's him or anybody, the law actually allows you to stop the commission of a felony.
Okay.
And that's where the stand your ground rule comes from, is because otherwise bullies rule the street.
Sure.
And so you have no obligation to retreat from a public place if you're being bullied.
Okay.
So stand your ground is very important to have a peaceful, peaceful streets, to have a peaceful society.
Sure.
And so that's a very good outcome of having everybody carry guns.
I hear you.
But so can I just show you a little bit about
I'd like
safety?
to see. Yes.
Because once you get the safety down, you can move on to other things. And
Sure.
you want to do this so much that it becomes a habit.
Right.
That it becomes habitual.
Okay.
So I'm going to pick this gun up and I'm going to grip it. And the first thing I want you to notice is that my index finger we call it indexing.
Yeah.
It's outside of the trigger guard.
It's not on the trigger.
It's not on the trigger.
It's pointing towards your target.
And my grip goes right up here as far as it can go up here. I'm holding it as tight as I can.
Right.
And that finger stays straight. And you get in the habit of doing that at all times.
It looks like all your grip is in these three fingers right here.
Yes.
Okay.
And so the first rule is always assume the gun is loaded and treat it that way.
Right.
Okay?
Yep.
Number 2 rule, there's 4 rules.
Okay.
Number 2 rule is always be aware of where the muzzle is pointing.
Yeah, right.
So
That's where the bullet's going to
so
go.
don't sweep it over anything you're not willing to destroy.
Okay.
So number 1, always assume the gun is loaded. Number 2, do not sweep the muzzle over anything.
I notice
you're
you
not
never
willing to
point
destroy.
that in my direction.
Except, and look at me and getting my fingers out front.
Uh-huh.
Please your fingers and your toes.
Okay, I got you.
Okay, your fingers and toes.
Thank you.
Okay, number 3, do not put the finger on the trigger until you have the sight picture. That means
Sight-
you're ready and you're on target.
Okay.
And then I would put my finger on there.
Then you're ready to go.
And then as
Okay.
soon as I come off the target, I index my finger again.
Ah.
And then number 4 is know your target and what's beyond.
Ah.
Okay?
Beyond.
We
yeah.
have bricks right here.
Right.
And bricks will stop a bullet, but an interior wall will not stop a bullet.
Like this backdrop we have here, go right through that with
Oh yeah,
no
it'll
trouble.
go through an interior wall.
And if there's somebody behind there, you better know what's behind
So
there.
you wouldn't shoot at anything in the dark.
I got you.
You wouldn't
Okay.
shoot at sounds.
You have to identify your
You
target.
need to identify it.
Okay.
And a lot of self-defense situations happen at night.
Yeah.
You know, and the myth is that, well, it was a relative that came home sooner than expected, or you weren't expecting them at all. So you do have to be careful. You can call out a command, stop or I'll shoot. It's always good to command.
Okay, sure. That's your first line of
That's right.
defense, I guess. And if it is a family member that maybe broke in because they didn't have a key or something, if you can identify that as your family member, you're not going to shoot them.
That's
So
right.
identify your target.
And,
No, I
you know,
hear you.
I'm all for warning shots, but,
Well, yeah, but where's the warning shot going to go?
well, it depends on how good you are of a marksman. The
Wow.
better you are, the closer it can be to their ears.
I had an embarrassing moment that I'm going to share with the audience. It is embarrassing, but I had my .45 on, and I was so used to taking rounds out of the pistol, and I didn't assume that the gun was loaded. I thought it was unloaded, and I pulled the trigger and fired a .45 slug into my workbench. But the good thing is, I followed the
That's
second.
the safe direction.
Well, that's it. The second rule that you mentioned, I had it pointed in a safe area. Of course, my workbench took a beating from it, but so always assume the gun is loaded, like
That's
you said.
right. That's right. So at
important.
least you were obeying 3 of the 4 rules. So what
Yes.
happens is it's usually not a lethal discharge, because anybody that's handled guns for very long is going to have an accidental discharge.
Okay.
But one quick thing is that anytime you come across a gun and you're not familiar with it and you didn't have direct continuous control, you always take the magazine out first.
Okay. Okay.
And then you would open the action, because this gun, even though the magazine is out, that has the bullets,
Right.
it can still have a round in the
So
chamber.
you assume that it's loaded.
You got to assume it's loaded. So you got to open the action, you know, cock it like that, and the bullet will be ejected if there
Okay.
is one.
Okay.
So-
Could I see the gun?
Oh, of course. There you go.
Wow. Whoa, that's heavy. And it feels just like my .45 automatic. Wow.
Yeah. And so, yeah.
This is
it's-
the real deal.
It's heavy because it's simulating having a fully loaded magazine.
Right.
And a Glock 19 holds what, 12 to 14 rounds?
I don't know.
Can I correct your grip?
Yes, sure. Okay, we're going to get some instruction.
You were holding it with your thumb here, but your thumbs have to be on that
Oh,
side.
okay.
Because the action goes back with automatically reloads. After you cock it the first
Oh,
time,
yeah, otherwise I'm
it
gonna lose some
automatically
skin.
loads a bullet. So it's just you cock it, and then it's going to be boom, boom,
I stand
boom.
corrected, folks. I'm learning.
It's
Even with
probably
all
been
my
a while
training.
since you've been to the shooting range.
It has. Well, listen, we're going to take a short break. And folks, stay tuned, because we have something very interesting. Bev is going to demonstrate the use of this gun on a target. So please come back, because it's going to be very interesting. And we'll see you in a short break. There you go.
So great. You can do all these different gears like one hand.
Okay.
Nice.
Guys, not all. Granite is here. We'll come to you to customize your kitchen and bathroom with beautiful countertops and cabinets. Find out more at horizongranite.com. Call us at 575-650-3180.
Horizon Granite is here.
It's here.
Make yourself a beautiful home.
Hi, I'm Ray Bamberg with Here on Earth. I would like to invite you for a free hearing evaluation to our office. We've been here in southern New Mexico for 34 years helping people hear better.
Hi folks, welcome back to the Candidates Forum. We're here with Bev Courtney, who's running for mayor of Las Cruces. We've gone through a bit about gun safety. Bev has showed us the gun. Now we're going to get a demonstration. Now, you'll see beside me here there's a target with a bullseye on it, and Bev is going to demonstrate concealed carry and how she would take care of somebody that's going to attack her. So, Bev?
All right, Dave, thank you. Now, you noticed that was a full-size pistol.
Yes, it was, and it was heavy. It felt like my .45 automatic.
Mm-hmm.
So
I just wanted to, demonstrate that it's actually easier to hide than you might think.
Are you carrying it now? Do you have
I am
it on
carrying
you?
it. Oh. And so I am going to demonstrate the presentation or the draw stroke.
Okay.
And the target is right behind Dave because of our limited space, and it is a training pistol. So I'm actually not pointing it at him.
Okay. Now, Bev, I see a little bit sticking out, but
you
if you had your
Okay.
your shirt, can't even tell you have a
if
gun
I were
on.
going out and about and it was windy, I'd probably button it somewhat.
Sure.
But otherwise, it's just like this.
Whoa.
And then, can you see that on the target?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Dead eye.
And then right there, and then back.
Wow. Let's see
Like
that
that.
again. Now, that took all of a split second here, and if you have some bad guy
yeah,
approaching you, wow. Okay. And this training is free to anybody that wants to get the feel of a handgun.
I can show you this inside the shop.
Well, there you go. Anybody can stop by. Folks, you got this free training. If you just want to know what it's like to have a gun in your hand and to feel that safe and secure, that's the way to do it.
There's guns in America, so it's good for everybody to get the safety.
Sure.
And even sometimes you can go to other instructors, or we can get careless, because most firearms accidents are caused by carelessness and ignorance.
One of the safest countries in the world is Switzerland. And they have, everybody I believe has to be trained in firearms. So imagine if you're in a situation and your family's life is at stake. Wouldn't you want to have that concealed carry? I would want it, and I have it.
I definitely think so. We have gun-free zones.
Right.
So a Second Amendment sanctuary city would, as far as I'm concerned, can eliminate that, because the gun-free zone is an invitation to criminals.
Absolutely.
To
it's a
make
soft
victims
target.
out of people who they know are helpless, and it's not going to cost them anything. And they're thriving on the fear and intimidation.
Okay. Could I see your gun again?
Let me draw one more time, and you can get that sight picture. And look, this doesn't cost me anything to learn that sight picture. And I'm a little left because there's actually quite a number of variables. Your eyesight, your grip, the trigger control.
Right.
And you get those three together, and you're going to be a good shooter.
Wow.
So here you go.
Thank you. Wow. We had some issues in City Council when our City Councilman, Greg Smith, was talking about school safety after they had the school shootings. Now, the school safety issue about a school that was attacked by a massive shooter. We also had the El Paso, and that was a Walmart that doesn't allow firearms in Walmart. These are all soft targets. So where does the shooter go? He goes to a place where they don't have firearms, where they're not allowed. So to me, this is the reason why people are victimized, because they're in a situation where they don't have the ability to protect themselves.
It's to me, it's kind of like a type of brainwashing, because a child goes into that school building every day, and they see that sign, and it's also sending a message to them that guns are evil. When in fact, guns are their birthright that keeps them safe and keeps the community peaceful.
Sure. And a school is a soft target.
It's a soft
and
target.
And the kids are at risk. And You know, when Greg Smith did bring up that issue, I like Greg Smith, but he and I differ very greatly on this issue and other issues as well. So he brought up school safety, but then he also wanted in that resolution to limit the sale and possession of semi-automatic weapons, which this is a semi-automatic weapon, and most of the firearms out there are semi-automatic weapons.
Well, see, Dave, that's what upsets the gun owner. I believe that the community wants to keep their guns.
Sure.
And you have these politicians, and mostly politicians, not anybody else is asking for gun control.
Right.
And they're saying this is what we need to do to keep us safe, when in fact it takes away your safety, it takes away your peace. And the problem is they're irrational, and they won't discuss the true problem. What we see as the true problem is these kids are, usually it's mental health.
Right.
There's a lot of commonalities. There's drugs.
Drugs, yeah, it's always a factor.
They had programs where they wanted to keep kids that were convicted of crimes in the public school.
That happened at Parkland, Florida.
Yeah, exactly,
when
and I was
Cruise
shocked
kid,
by that. I was shocked by that.
He was on the
With
radar.
money.
They knew.
So it rings hollow to us. It's not sincere.
Right. No, I hear you.
Even CNN, or in
MSNBC.
Thank you, sir.
They're the same thing.
They
it's fake
took
news.
a poll, and 90% of their viewers said they support the Second Amendment.
Sure.
So we don't have representation on the city council.
No.
We don't have it at the county commission.
No, we don't.
At the state level, they passed 2 laws this last session.
Right. To limit guns or
To infringe. We'll call
vigorous
it
background
infringe.
checks.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly. And you can't transfer it even to a family member. No. Stay out of the family business, okay?
Sure.
Look,
anybody that does any damage whatsoever, whether it's a firearm, a car, or whatever, we are responsible for what we do.
That's right.
Now, what are you going to do? Ban cars? Are you going to ban baseball bats because you can kill somebody with a baseball bat?
If I could get in as mayor, I will first thing introduce a resolution to make Las Cruces a Second Amendment sanctuary city.
When you get in as mayor.
Yeah, and you know what? I've got to work on the voter ID. That's really important too.
Oh, absolutely.
But the other thing is we ought to have rifle teams in our high schools. We should teach safety in elementary school.
I think first we need to get a handle on the mental health issue and the drug issue.
Exactly.
Because you have to screen the kids.
But in a school though, you got 1 or 2. So you're going to take the whole 98, 99% of the rest of the kids and treat them by the actions of the criminal-minded?
No, but you have to identify that 5%.
We can do that. We can do that.
Okay. Yeah, sure. No, I hear you. And I am so happy that I have my concealed carry weapon. I feel safer out there, and I know I can protect people that can't protect themselves. But everybody can protect themselves. Or you have to go to your shop to get the free training. Now,
That's
the name
right.
of your shop?
Bev's Outdoor Sundries and Shooter Supply.
Bev's Outdoor Sundries and Shooter Supply on Missouri Avenue. The address again?
2645 Missouri Avenue, Suite 1.
2645 Missouri Avenue. Get the feel of a real gun, folks. You won't be afraid of it anymore. I think I'm going to switch it this way because it's away from anybody that might be moving around our studio. So, okay, Bev, what else would you like to talk about?
Well, here's the big reason, a large reason for the Second Amendment, is our founding fathers gave us the Bill of Rights.
Right.
Okay, nobody is running from America to some other country for freedom and prosperity.
No, they're all running to America.
Okay, that's the Bill of Rights. That's their birthright.
Right.
The reason they did that is they understand that a despot, a tyrant who wants to lord it over the people, the first thing he does is disarm them.
Oh, yeah. That's all history. I can see
It's
that.
very much history.
Indochina.
There's
Cambodia.
the draconian gun laws. They knew that story about Draco over in Austria, who
Right, right.
and he was a contemporary of Frankenstein.
Well, before Hitler took over, I think it was the.
They had real problems with vampires too, by the way.
Okay, but before Hitler took over, they got rid of the guns.
Okay, so modern day, we've got Venezuela right now. Just a few short years ago, they were very rich and prosperous. They had resources. The people were thriving and had freedom. Well, they outlawed guns there just in 2013.
Is that right? I
It's
didn't know
6 years later, and look what happened.
that. Whoa.
And who is mass murdering people in Venezuela today?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not some kid. It's
the
the
military.
government. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Maduro. I don't know. Well, that's
Okay.
socialism,
It is. It is indeed.
and it's
because,
probably that close to communism.
So this Bill of Rights came from a Christian heritage.
Right.
Just saying, Christian ethics. So did all of Western civilization, and it gives you the best freedom the world has known. So we will keep it, and this will help us keep it.
This will help us
freedom-
keep us from an oppressive government.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, not the handgun. That's where we
Well,
need
that's
our
a
battle
start.
rifles.
That's a start.
Every man should be armed. It's the duty of the whole body of the people. I've been studying it. Another example, right next door, Mexico.
Right.
Their people are not allowed to have gun ownership.
Well, they don't seem to be too happy in Mexico when they're coming to the U.S.
Well, the cartel, the organized
ones that
crime,
have the
they
guns.
they
Yes.
have them, don't they?
Yes.
And they put fear and intimidation on everybody, including the government. There's no freedom of speech. There's no justice in Mexico. If you try to tell the truth, if you dare, you're going to get killed, imprisoned, tortured, dismembered. It's a fact of life. It's in the paper
Because
every
you have
day.
corruption in the police, the government's
Oh, no.
military, and the cartels. They work
No.
together. So disarming a populace is the first
Think
way to
about
go
this.
down the drain.
They don't want to close the border, these same gun control advocates that want to take our guns. But what's coming through the border? 90% of all the cocaine that comes to the U.S.
Man, I'll tell you. Well, we're winding down to
Human
the end of the
trafficking.
show. So, Bev, let's see. If people want to help you with your campaign, where can they contact you? Where do they send checks?
My website is back up.
Okay.
Bev Courtney 4NM. That's FORNM at what is it? .com.
Okay. Bev Courtney,
4NM.com.
4nm.com.
It's www.
Okay. Okay, and that
And-
has information on where they
Yeah,
can
I've been
send
putting
checks.
more stuff up there.
Any way they can help you. And if they have questions, can they call your phone number?
They can, but I've also got my Facebook page, which is just Bev for Mayor.
Okay. Okay.
And it is, there's donate button there, because I want to shine the light on voter ID.
Oh, that's
We need
another
voter
biggie.
ID. We need it.
We have to bring up that at another session we have here. Well, we're done for the day.
Voter ID and guns.
All right, folks, you heard it. Bev's going to straighten out this city one way or another. Okay, folks, you got your demonstration. Now get to her shop, and she will show you how to safely handle a gun. So until next time, we'll be with the Candidates Forum, and this is Bev Courtney for Mayor. So gun safety and fair elections. Talk to you later, folks.
I'm Bev Courtney, and I approve this message. Carol Cooper, Treasurer.